blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and His rule. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are, nothing more and nothing less. That's the moment you will find yourself a proud owner of everything that can't be bought. You're blessed when you worked up an appetite for God. His food, His drink is the best meal you will ever eat. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you'll find yourself cared for. You're blessed when you can get your inside world, your mind, your heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's kingdom. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into the kingdom, into God's kingdom. Not only that, count yourself blessed every time someone puts you down or throw you out or speak lies about you just to discredit me. Because what that means is that the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even, because though they don't like it, I do. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here to be salt, seasoning that brings out the God flavors of this earth. If you lose your saltiness, how will people taste godliness? You've lost your usefulness and will end up in garbages. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be a light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I make you a light bearer, you don't think I'm gonna hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm gonna put you on a light stand. Now that I've put you there on the hilltop, on a light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up to God, this generous Father in heaven. Don't suppose for 1 minute that I've come to demolish the scriptures, either God's law or the prophets. I'm not here to demolish but to complete. I'm gonna put it all together, pull it all together in a vast panorama. God's law is more real and lasting than the stars in the sky and the ground on your feet. Long after the stars burn and the earth wears out, God's law will still be alive and working. Trivialize even the smallest item in God's law, and you will only have trivialized yourself. But take it seriously. Show the way for others, and you will find honor in the kingdom. Unless you do far better than the Pharisees in the matter of righteous living, you won't know the first thing about entering into the kingdom. Okay, you're familiar with the command of the ancients, do not murder. I'm telling you, anyone who is even angry with a brother or sister is guilty of murder. Carelessly call a brother an idiot, and you might find yourself hauled into court. Thoughtlessly yell, stupid, to a sister, and you are on the brink of hell's fire. The simple moral fact here is that words kill. This is how I want you to conduct yourself in these matters. If you enter your place of worship and about to make an offering, you suddenly remember a grudge you have against a friend, abandon your offering. Leave immediately. Go to this friend and make things right. Then and only then come back to God and work things out with God. Or say you're out on the street and an old enemy attacks you. Don't lose a minute. Make the first move to make things right. I mean, after all, if you lead a first move to him, knowing his record, you'll likely end up in court, maybe even in jail. And if that happens, it's gonna cost you. You know this next commandment pretty well, too. Don't go to bed with another person's spouse. But don't think you've preserved your virtue simply by staying out of bed. Your heart can be corrupted by lust even quicker than your body. Those leering looks that you think nobody notices, They also corrupt. Let's not pretend that this is easier than it really is. If you want to live a pure and a moral life, here's what you have to do. You have to blind your right eye the moment you catch it in a lustful ear. You have to choose to live one-eyed or else be dumped on a moral trash pile. You have to chop off your right hand at the moment you noticed it raised threateningly. Better a bloody stump than your entire being discarded for good in the dump. Remember the scripture that says, whoever divorces his wife, let him do it legally? Too many of you are using that as a cover for selfishness and whim, pretending to be righteous just because you are legal. Please, no more pretending. If you divorce your wife, you're responsible for making her an adulteress, unless she has already made herself that by sleeping around. And if you marry such a divorced adulteress, you're automatically an adulterer yourself. You can't use legal cover to mask a moral failure. And don't say anything you don't mean. These words of wisdom are embedded deep in our tradition. You only make things worse when you lay down a smoke screen of pious talk saying, I'll pray for you and never do. Or saying, God be with you and not even meaning it. You don't make your words true by embellishing them with religious lace. In making your speech sound more religious, it becomes less true. Just say yes and no. When you manipulate words to get your own way, you end up going the wrong way. Here's another old saying that deserves a second look. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Is that gonna get us anywhere? Here's what I propose. Don't hit back at all. If someone strikes you, stand there and take it. If someone drags you into court and sues you for the shirt off your back, gift wrap your best coat and make it a present. And if someone takes unfair advantage of you, use the occasion to practice the servant life. No more tit for tat stuff. Live generously. You're familiar with the old written law, love your friend, and then the part that we added, hate your enemy. Well, I'm challenging that. I'm telling you to love your enemy. Let them bring out the best in you, not the worst. When someone gives you a hard time, respond with energies of prayer, for then you are working out of your true selves, your God-created selves. And this is what God does. God gives his best, the sun to warm and the rain to nourish, to everyone, regardless, the good and the bad, the nice and the nasty. If you simply say hello to those who greet you, do you expect a medal? Any old sinner does that. In a word, what I'm saying is, grow up. You're kingdom subjects. Now live like it. Live it out. Live out your God-created identity. Live generously and graciously towards others, the way God lives towards you. The world is not a stage. Be especially careful when you are trying to be good so that you don't make a performance out of it. Yeah, it might be good theater, but the God who made you won't be applauding. And when you do something for someone else, don't call attention to yourself. I mean, you've seen them in action, I'm sure. Play actors is what I like to call them. Treating prayer meetings and street corners like a stage. Acting compassionate as long as somebody's watching. Playing to the crowd. Yeah, they get that applause, true. But that's about all they get. And when you help someone out, don't think about how it looks. Just do it quietly and unobtrusively. That is the way your God, who conceives you in love, working behind the scenes, helps you out. And when you come before God, don't turn that into a theatrical production either. All these people making a regular show out of their prayers, hoping for stardom. Do you think God sits in a box seat? Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place so that you won't be tempted to role play before God. Just be there, as simply and honestly as you can manage. The focus will shift from you to God, and you will begin to sense God's grace. The world is full of so-called prayer warriors who are prayer ignorant. They are full of formulas and programs and advice, selling techniques for getting what they want from God. Don't fall for that nonsense. This is your Father you are dealing with, and He knows better than you what you need. With a God like this loving you, you can pray very simply like this. Our Father in heaven, reveal who you are. Set the world right. Do what's best on earth as it is in heaven. Keep us alive with 3 square meals. Keep us forgiven with you and forgiving others. Keep us safe from ourselves and the devil. You're in charge. You can do anything you want. You're ablaze in beauty. Yes, yes, yes. In prayer, there is a connection between what God does and what you do. You can't get forgiveness from God without also forgiving others. If you refuse to do your part, you cut yourself off from God's part. When you practice some appetite-denying discipline to better concentrate on God, don't make a production out of it. It might turn you into a small-time celebrity, but it won't make you a saint. If you go into training inwardly, act normal outwardly, shampoo and comb your hair, brush your teeth, wash your face, God doesn't require attention-getting devices. He won't overlook what you are doing. He'll reward you well. And don't hoard treasures down here where it gets eaten by moths or corroded by rust, or even worse, stolen by thieves. Stockpile treasure in heaven where it is safe from moth, rust, and thieves. Isn't it obvious? The place where your treasure is the place where you will most want to be and end up being. Your eyes are windows into your body. If you open your eyes wide in wonder and belief, your body fills up with light. If you live squinty-eyed in greed and distrust, your body is a dank cellar. If you pull the blinds on your windows, what a dark life you will have. You can't worship 2 gods at once. Loving one God, you'll only end up hating the other. Adoration of one feeds contempt for the other. You can't worship God and money. If you decide for God, living a life of God worship, it follows that you don't fuss about what's on the table at meal times or whether the clothes in your closet are in fashion. There is far more to your life than the food you put in your stomach, more to your life than the outer appearance and the clothes that hangs on your body. Look at the birds, free and unfettered, not tied down to a job description, careless in the care of God, and you count far more to Him than the birds. Has anyone, by fussing in front of a mirror, ever gotten taller by even an inch? All this time and money wasted on fashion. Do you think it makes that much a difference? Instead of looking at all the fashion, walk into the fields and look at the wildflowers. They never primp or shop. But have you ever seen color and design quite like it? The 10 best dressed men and women in the country look shabby alongside them. If God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, most of which are never even seen, don't you think He'll attend to you, take pride in you, do His best for you? What I'm trying to do here is get you to relax, to not be so preoccupied with getting, so that you can respond to what God is giving. People who don't know God and the way He works fuss over these things, but you know both God and how He works. Steep your life in God reality, God initiative, God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. You'll find all your everyday human concerns will be met. Give your entire attention to what God is doing right now. And don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. God will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. Don't pick on people, jump on their failures, criticize their faults. Unless, of course, you want the same treatment. That critical spirit has a way of boomeranging. It's easy to see a smudge on your neighbor's face and be oblivious to the ugly sneer on your own. Do you have the nerve to say, "Let me wash your face for you," when your own face is distorted by contempt? It's this whole traveling roadshow mentality all over again, playing a holier-than-thou part instead of just living your part. Wipe that ugly sneer off your own face, and you might be fit to offer a washcloth to your neighbor. Don't be disrespectful with the sacred. Banter and silliness give no honor to God. Don't reduce holy mysteries to slogans and trying to be relevant. You're only being cute and inviting sacrilege. Don't bargain with God. Be direct. Ask for what you need. This isn't a cat and mouse hide and seek game we're in. If your child asks for bread, do you trick him with sawdust? If he asks for fish, do you scare him with live snakes on his plate? As bad as you are, you wouldn't think of such a thing. You're at least decent to your own children. So don't you think God, who conceived you in his love, will be even better? Here's a simple rule of thumb guide for behavior. Ask yourselves what you want people to do for you. Then grab the initiative and do it for them. Don't look for shortcuts to God. The market is flooded with surefire, easygoing formulas for a successful life that can be practiced in your own spare time. Don't fall for that stuff, even though crowds of people do. The way to life, to God, is vigorous and requires total attention. Beware of false preachers who smile a lot, dripping with practiced sincerity. Chances are they are out to rip you off one way or the other. Don't be impressed with charisma. Look for character. Who preachers are is the main thing, not what they say. A genuine leader would never exploit your emotions or your pocketbooks. These diseased trees with their bad apples are gonna be chopped down and burned. Knowing the correct password, like saying "Master, Master," isn't gonna get you anywhere with me. What I require is serious obedience, doing what my Father wills. I can see it now at the final judgment. Thousands strutting up to me saying, "Master, we preached the message. We bashed demons. Our God-sponsored projects had everyone talking. And do you know what I'm gonna say? You missed the boat. All you did was use me to make yourselves important. You don't impress me one bit. Depart from me." These words I speak to you are not incidental additions to your life, homeowner improvements to your standard of living. They are foundational words, words to build a life on. If you work these words into your life, you are like a smart carpenter who builds his house on a solid rock. Rain poured down, the river flooded, a tornado hit, but nothing moved that house because it was fixed to the rock. But if you only use my words in Bible studies and don't apply them to your life, you are like a stupid carpenter who builds his house on a sandy beach. When the storm rolled in and the waves came up, it collapsed like a house of cards.